Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, April 17. Trade, migration, climate change, and skills training were among the topics discussed when Prime Minister Andrew Holness met with his British counterpart Theresa May this morning. The Prime Minister is in London for the 25th meeting of the Commonwealth Heads of Government. He's also scheduled to meet with Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Charles of Wales. Mr. Holness will also have bilateral talks with the Prime Minister of Mauritius. During his week-long visit to England, he's also scheduled to meet with the Jamaican diaspora as well as current and prospective investors. In the meantime, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says Jamaica will continue to partner with international stakeholders to combat corruption. To that end, Jamaica has adopted the Lima Commitment on Democratic Governance Against Corruption. This move reaffirms the country's responsibility to anti-corruption treaties such as the United Nations Convention Against Corruption and the Inter-American Convention Against Corruption.
Organized crime affects us all, and Jamaica is currently engaged at the domestic and international level to find meaningful solutions to these issues.
The Prime Minister gave that commitment at the 8th Summit of the Americas in Lima, Peru recently. Back home, National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang is calling for greater investment in technology to address security challenges in the region. He argues that while implementation costs may be a deterring factor, this will allow for more efficient use of manpower.
Given the kind of challenges we have in the Caribbean, given the opportunities we have that emerge in the resort area, in services, in transshipment and so forth, I think the challenge is, can we afford not to have them? Because it is important that we maintain the atmosphere of safety that exists in the Caribbean, and that the challenges that are emerging will be dealt with early and decisively.
Minister Chang was addressing the 10th Caribbean Regional Intelligence Conference in Montego Bay recently. He says the region must not be too complacent with its relatively safe environment from terrorism threats. The National Security Minister warns that the warm and welcoming nature of our tourism product could expose us to such threats.
Is always a welcoming mat, so to speak, for our visitors, and they feel fairly comfortable and safe. But that also makes us exposed. It means that it's very easy for someone else to come in as a friend and do something very unfriendly. And those are the kind of issues that have to occupy the mind of those of us at the political level as to what we do to ensure that nothing really happens.
Meanwhile, the National Security State Minister Rudyard Spencer has announced plans to expand the farm program at the Metcalfe Street Secure Juvenile Remand Center. On a recent tour of the facility, Minister Spencer said he wanted to see more produce being planted and sold to the public.
We are going to look at the farm program, and we are going to feed the youths with what we produce. And we are hoping to take the farm to a level where after we should have eaten what we produced, what is left will be for sale.
The young male wards at the Kingston-based facility are involved in the planting of produce such as banana, pak choy, sorrel and aloe vera. There's also a poultry and fish farm. This is part of the skills training rehabilitation program to assist with the reintegration of wards into society. Before visiting Metcalfe Street, Mr. Spencer stopped at the South Camp Juvenile Remand and Correctional Center for Young Girls. He challenged the staff to use their influence and authority to make a difference in the lives of their female wards.
In your care, in your charge, with all the responsibility that you have, is to ensure that they leave here a much, much better person and be able to make a meaningful contribution to the society to which they belong.
Mr. Spencer will be visiting other juvenile facilities as part of his activities as the new State Minister for National Security. And finally, firefighters in Montego Bay and Kingston are now mobilized to respond to blazes on ships, docks and shoreside warehouses. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie presented the Jamaica Fire Brigade with 2 fireboats on Monday.
Government is spending some $22 million to erect in Montego Bay at a cost of $14 million, and here in Kingston, $8 million to erect facility to house the men and women who will be working on these boats.
In addition to the $385 million expenditure on the fireboats, Minister Mackenzie also gave the brigade 2 fire trucks and pumpers on Monday. He says these are among several major investments being made in the organization.
We have set aside $189 million to purchase more fire trucks. And through JSF, an additional 6 brand new trucks will be added to the fleet of the Jamaica Fire Brigade.
The minister also revealed plans to build separate residences for female firefighters in May Pen with $15 million budgeted. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.